Good morning, YouTube. How you guys doing this fine day? Hopefully good. As you can see, it is gloomy outside. I'm gonna put this down because I'm driving, but I have to go to my parents' house and get some wood that they had. We burned a lot of stuff last night at their house that they didn't want. So I'm going to go over there, pick up what I wanted out of the pile. And I also have a project I have to pick up there as well. And then today we're gonna work on a shoe rack for our house. So we'll get to that. All right, so today I've gotten a lot of projects done already today. Has something to do with this as well. I'm just trying to finish these small projects up before I start this, but I went and actually bought 1x3's this time because, you know, these ones were straight. If you haven't watched the last video, it was my DIY shoe rack solely out of 1x3's, and it's done very well. And I felt like rewatching it, I didn't explain the process very well. I haven't had any comments saying that it was bad or anything, but just like from the standpoint that I have mentally showing people, I try to show every little detail that I either come across or whatever. So I got some 1x3's sitting over here. Don't mind this mess of a shop. We'll get to that someday. I got a table here that I'd like to just take everything off and get rid of, put it outside. So we'll probably do that pretty soon too. But let's start with this, and I will try to explain what I'm doing. So for starters, let's talk some measurements. I have 8-foot 1x3's. I bought like 12 of them, I think. This was for other stuff like trim. For I think the video before this, or maybe 2 videos before this, I took out windows and I replaced a door downstairs. I think I'm going to use this for trim, this pine. So I'm going to probably use some of that, like I said, but I have 5 of them sanded down here. Let's start with that. I think that's probably a good idea. They're 8 foot long. I'm gonna make my shoe rack 4 foot long. I've got one in my house that we bought from Walmart like years ago, and I'm not happy with it. Every time you take shoes off, it knocks the rest of them down. So I'm thinking a 4 foot one, and maybe we'll make it 4 high as well. So mathematically speaking, I'll figure that out as I go. Mathematically speaking, measurement wise, I meant. I'll figure out that when I go, but let's cut these down first. All right, so this is Not quite everything. So this was 5 8-foot 1x3's. So if you're making this on your own, you're gonna need a few more. I'll explain. So this is your backs. These are, I made these 4 foot, so I'm gonna write back on them. I should have wrote that in a better spot. I don't know why I did that. These are your legs, so I'm gonna write leg. And then these are your cross beams. I'm just gonna write ladder or an X on them. An X is fine. And I will show you, if you've watched my other video, then you already know, but this is all the cutoffs that I've had from the 5 boards. So I tried to use pretty much all of it. Your backs, if you make this the exact same as me, I made 4 foot. The height, I made 45 inches. So 48 inches, 45 inches, 12 and a half. What I did, and this is what you could do as well, this is going to sit sideways like this, so you can put boards on top of it or underneath it or however we build it. I measured my shoe that I have on right now, so this is supposed to be the same as your shoe. So for reference, my shoes are 11s, men's, so I have 12 and a half is what I measured, roughly, maybe 13 you could do. If you have any bigger or smaller, you're probably pretty set with going 12 and a half and you'll be fine. If they stick off, it's not the end of the world. They'll stay on there. So I need rungs. Now what I'm probably going to do is start putting this stuff together, and then when it's all said and done, I can measure the rungs that way. So let's do that. Yeah, that's much nicer. Alright, again, sorry for the absolute mess my shop is right now. I have not had time to clean it up. So, we got the backs on. I think I went over measurements already, but now what I would do is flip it upside down, like I did, and then start from the top, which is the bottom now, and just measure between these rungs right here. So I'm getting about 46 1/4, maybe a little more than 46 1/4. And this is going to vary off of yours, so if you make one different. The shoe rack we have is probably about 3 foot, and so I would like to make this a little bigger so we can set more shoes on it, and obviously more sturdy. So what did I say? Let's get that measurement one more time. 46 1/4, maybe a little more than 1/4, and you're gonna start working on all the insides here. So I think I had, what did I say I bought? I think I bought 12 1x3's for this. This is a larger one, like I said. I think my previous one was like 30 inches or something like that wide. So you kind of have to go off of that, but let's start cutting some of these and get some rungs in. Alright, so I would suggest, this is what I've been doing for this, because the last one I made for my sister was the hardest thing ever, because I did it backwards, pretty much. I did it how I'm doing now, but I started from this side, and so getting the big nailer that I have in there was very difficult. So all I'm doing is I'm lining this board up with this leg, and then same thing on this side, and then I start on this back one because getting this gun in here was kind of difficult in between. So and then for this middle one, I just kind of eyeballed these. You can, I mean, if you're a perfectionist, you could measure. I would say probably 2 inches in between, but you'll find out. I mean, you just have to do the math on it, I guess. Like I said, I just kind of eyeballed it, and especially with this bottom one here, you could technically throw this one in already too, and just make sure everything's kind of where you want it. See, I would probably move this one a little farther towards the front here. And then I'm just flushing it up with the side and nailing it in. Same thing with this front. And then 2 more and I am done. Nice. Okay. So let's stand this bad boy up. See how she looks. And how sturdy she is. That's my main concern. You could always glue if you wanted to. Don't be afraid to glue stuff. I just don't necessarily have the time to. I kind of like that a lot, actually. That looks pretty good. It's a bit tall, but that's okay. Worst case scenario, I could always just cut this off if I really didn't feel like it. But the thing about this is, I like that it's very big, because we don't have like 1,000 shoes. Like this would hold a lot. For instance, I could throw one of my shoes up there for you. Don't look, they're really dirty. But, I mean, You could hold a lot of shoes on there, for sure. We haven't, I think my wife wants a black stain on all of this. So we might do that. And I also, the way I built this, so the bottom down here, I have like little rubber mats that go under for my work boots, for hiking boots, for in the winter around here we use like rubber boots or muck boots or whatever you want to call them for snow boots. But I think this turned out pretty good. So I will bring you along in the staining process whenever that time comes. Let's flip you around here. This camera is always hard to vlog on because it's a big lens, but I think we will, yeah, probably stain it black. I think that's probably good. I sanded all these boards before I put them on with 60 grit. I could have done a 120. I didn't really think it was necessary. They're pretty soft as is. But if you don't sand things previously, because when I bought the boards, they were smooth and stuff. There was no jagged edges or anything like that. But if you don't sand them properly before you start anything, the stain will look totally wrong, totally different, not what you want. So it's always good to sand everything you do before you get to it. So I will pick you guys up another day. Sorry, because I know this was the day after. I've had a couple side projects here or there, and I wish I could show you, but it's for someone's wedding gift, so I can't show you that. But they turned out pretty good. And yeah, stop rambling, and whenever I get to the staining process, I'll bring you guys along and show you the end result. And hopefully you guys enjoy this video and can make one of these. Suggestions now that this is done. So I used 12 boards, 12 1x3's by 8 foot, and it's pretty massive. So like I said, unless you got like a bunch of kids or something like that, or your significant other has a lot of shoes that they want, you don't need something this big necessarily, but it'll be nice gap wise. That way I can put my work boots in somewhere if I need to. I have a problem hoarding those, but let's call it another day. Alright, so I left the spot to brand it, and I didn't completely stain everything because you're not going to see some of that under there, but it's pretty much done. I'm going to clear coat this. If my audio sounds much better, it's because my lovely wife bought me a new microphone for my camera, so thank you, Bert. Yeah, it just, I don't know. I kind of knew going into this, my sister had told me that it was a pain in the butt to stain. She said stain the boards before you put it on. But in my head I was like, I don't know. You'd have to build it like IKEA furniture and then stain it. And know exactly where everything, you know what I mean? Like that, in my head it didn't work, so. But this is good. She wanted a black stain, birded. So I got a black stain on it, and yeah, it needs some clear coat. I probably I probably will clear coat almost everything, but the majority of the clear is probably going to go right here on the shoe part, because if you set your muddy shoes on there, it'll wipe right off. So I would probably clear this with a polyacrylic. I always use Minwax polyacrylic. It's the blue stuff. It kind of hardens. From what I've noticed, the polyurethane soaks into the wood and protects it that way. The polyacrylic is kind of like a protective coating on top. I just prefer the polyacrylic. I don't know. I like a smoother feel, you know. But yeah, that turned out really good. So hopefully, like I said, if you guys want to make one of these, they're not too hard to make. All 1x3's. I think I had previously said, but this one's 4 foot wide, 45 inches tall. These boards on this side, sorry for my camera angles, these boards on this side are 12 and a half, I think. And then the section from the top here to the top of this one is 10 and a half inches. And all in all, that's pretty good in my eyes. And yeah, all 1x3's. I think I used 12 1x3's for this, but this project was massive. Like, this is a huge shoe rack. I don't know if you realize, like, that table is a 6 foot table. There's your reference right there. But yeah, hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully my camera, I messed around with my settings a little bit. Sorry, I keep flipping you guys around. Burr got me a new mic, so hopefully all this audio is on here. And I messed with my settings a bit and found out some issues that I had previously with grainy footage and all that stuff. So hopefully that's all fixed. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys being here and supporting me in what I do every single day. As always, see you guys in the next one.